I'm ahead of the game.
Well, the phone is always ringing, I'm caught up on the line. Got a string around my finger, remember who am I? I'm a boss and I'm honestly off my rocker, but follow me, I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Well, I'm only ever slinging, I'm working overtime. Got a song and I'm the singer, the melody, the vibe. I'm a prodigy, logically, I'm impossibly wanted, and they'll remember my name. They'll remember my name. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Well, I'm ahead now. Well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game.
Throughout the whole course, there were a lot of irritations. This one game, I was playing against strong Czech Grandmaster, Indian International Master Bharat.
Magesh took over in his group classes. Once he reached
This kid, is super talented.
He's really good at calculating. He's really good at the openings.
I think 2700 is gettable in another 3 years.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
So that I give him up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Challenger Chess Tour. And today we're having the Julius Baer Challenge, and I'm very happy to join the one and only Judit Polgar. How are you, Judit?
Hi, everyone. Thanks very much, Pepe. I'm very happy to be here and commentate with you. I think it's the first time we're doing something like this.
Right.
And I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching these talented kids from all around the world.
Of course, like we have 16 super talented and young kids from, as you said, every corner in the wall. We have, well, I'm going to tell the list as well. Garifulina, Carissa Jeep, Asau Bajeva. Sorry for my pronunciation, Judith. As you can see, it's actually terrible. But Soka, your compatriot from Hungary, right?
Yeah, she's Joka, actually.
Joka, okay. I'm learning new things. Agraval, Malika, Salimova, Saibitiva, Mendonca from India, Vupala from India, Verre from Denmark, Esipenko, Aditya, Svane, and Maurici. So what do you think about the field, Judith?
Well, it's quite mixed, I must say, and they are all under 20 years old. So we see many of the top players, talented girls and boys. And we have to highlight that this event by Julius Baer Challenge, it is a second edition because last year we had also a very strong field. And I must say that we have great talents who are already in the international field, playing very well, like Gukesh, for example, or Pragnananda, who won last year's Champions Chess Tour. And this time also we see a lot of talented girls and boys. I do hope that the girls are going to be giving a great fight to the boys. It is very important, I believe, that there is a tournament where it's gender balanced. Of course, you can see the ranking that actually by rating, it's top 8 is the boys, and then the second half are the girls. But it's very important, I think, for them to be able to play against stronger competition. They can challenge them in a blitz form. Of course, anything can happen, let's say.
Right.
And I think it's a great initiative generally to make these mixed events and give great chances for both genders.
I completely agree. So let's talk about the formats. As you say, it's a round robin format today, where the time control is 5 minutes plus 3 seconds. Sorry, on each move. And we have 2 legs. Today is the first leg. This is Julius Baer challenge, and the winner and the runner-up of each leg, they qualify for the Challengers Final Four, which will be played the 29th and 30th of October. And the second leg will be played the 8th and the 9th of October. This will be the Magnus Academy Challenge. And then we'll have another event in Israel, right, Judit, in Tel Aviv, where the winner of this Challenger Chess Tour will face Pragnananda, the winner of the last edition, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is going to be a new element of this tour, I believe, that finally we are going to be seeing also some great matches live as well. But still, there is a lot of fight and a lot of entertainment, fun games, I think, until the winner is going to be reaching to Tel Aviv in December together with us being the commentators.
Right. Have you been there before?
Well, of course, because my sister lives in Israel.
Oh,
so
I see.
I'm a visitor to Israel, not so frequently as I wish, but still I do visit her, and she lives nearby. So
okay, so it will be my first time. So I'm very looking forward to this event over there. They told me like the food is amazing in Israel, Judith.
Exactly, the food is amazing.
That's the only thing I'm thinking about. And in the first round, we'll follow the game between Joka. Now I'm hoping that I'm saying correctly.
Excellent pronunciation.
Okay, awesome. I think the only word in Hungarian I can say is köszönöm, right? That's thank you, or
excellent. Thank you. Gracias.
Right. That's the only thing I can do it. Yeah, and so she'll face Jesipenko with the black pieces. So 5 minutes plus 3 seconds. So I guess this is about to start. Only 2 minutes left. And
do you like to play blitz yourself?
I'm terrible at blitz. I'm actually lost so many points. I was 25-40 and then I lost 200 points facing Indian kids in like 3 tournaments. I played against like 50 Indian kids. They were already IM and GMs, and they had like 1,700 rating points. So it was, they killed me. And I actually prefer the classical time control, but of course it's a lot of fun to play. How about you?
I love to play. When I was a kid, I was playing every day with my sisters, practically really 10, 20, 30, 40 games, depending on the day. Also, I was playing blindfolded as a training. And later on, also every Sunday, we had some small home tournament with some friends, also blitz.
Right. Okay.
And I think I started to not to play so many blitz around when I was age 11, 12. I was already around 2450 strength because and then I didn't play so many blitz games. But I see that these kids we are going to see today and tomorrow, it is very common that simply they go on the internet and they play bullet chess, they play blitz. And nowadays I hear it more often from trainers, you know, that the kids, when they learn new repertoire and they want to fill the position, they go on the internet with their own name or with fake names, and they start practicing it. And that's how they get the feel for it, for the middle game, for the end game, generally, how that opening works for them.
Right. You said something very important, like fake accounts, because nowadays, like a lot of chess players, they try to find nicknames, right, from your opponents on the internet. And actually, you can have a good preparation if you find those games. So I think almost every chess player now, they're really careful about this, right?
Well, yeah, I think some players is known. Like, for example, I know so Magnus Carlsen goes there and plays, and I think some people know his fake name.
Right.
But he's testing his opening repertoire out there.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I think there is a big debate between strong players, classical players like Kramnik, for example, or Anand, or many of the top players. They feel so bad about it that the kids go out there and play bullet chess, let's say. And but I think still there is a big debate because many of the top kids, they do go on the online platforms and play. We see the game started. You're
Right.
still hoping our game, which we choose, what's going on in that game.
The only one that didn't start. Now it did.
Finally,
Okay.
knight f3. This is Joka's move, I think.
Right.
b5. So let's see.
Now.
It's not going to be a deadly sharp opening. This I see already from the start.
She wants to deviate from the main theory, maybe.
And we also see her.
Yeah, now.
Focused.
She's 15, right? I think she's from...
She's only 15. She was the best performer in the Hungarian team of the Olympiad in Chennai. She won 8 games and lost 2. But
Wow.
I just spoke with her trainer, and he said that out of the last 23 games, because now she just finished playing very badly, I must say, in the European Championship, but she didn't have a single draw since 23 games. So I have the feeling that maybe something eventually will happen, a draw.
She has a very fighting spirit, I guess, yeah. So this is not working for some reason, or maybe she's having some internet trouble. Maybe our producer can tell us something about this. Okay, so they have some internet problems. Maybe Judit, we can go. I don't know.
We can go, or yeah, Mendonça we can go also.
Yeah, Leon-Luc Mendonça versus Asalbajeva. We have this line. Knight b5, you force the knight to go to a6, which is not ideal, right? And
wow, knight on a3.
Knight a3. And can you play c3 here? Knight takes c3 against queen d2?
d2. Well, you don't feel like to go king f1, do you? So
exactly, yeah.
c3 is on the board.
Right, c3. And now you can't take the pawn here in c3 because of queen d2, and then the knight is pinned.
A little provocation, but black will not fall to knight c3. But in that case, white will bring his knight to c2, and then later on to develop. But it's kind of strange, right? That the knight went to a3, b5, back to a3.
Right.
And both knights are...
Both knights are on the rim over there. Who would you take in this position, white or black?
I
don't know. I like white position here.
I take black then.
You take black then? Okay.
Well, of course, it's not so easy to play, and the queen is on a5 is not necessarily doing too much over there.
Right.
Probably black will have to move back with the queen eventually to d8.
And then this knight also to c7
and
at
knight
some
c7,
point.
knight e6, possibly.
And then there are some breaks, right? c4, c5, which are likely to happen at some point. Knight c7. Straight away. So there's no problem with b4 because the knight on a3 is hanging.
So knight c2 will be, no, queen b3.
b3.
Wants to stop the bishop to move out from c8.
Right. So b7 is hanging.
Maybe black can go b5 in this case. What do you think?
b5, 98.
98.
Whoa, nice maneuver.
Wow. But where does it want to go? To d6?
To d6.
To d6.
There she goes. Controlling c4.
c4 will appear.
c4 looks natural now.
This is kind of an unusual plan for black, don't you think so? Knight
right.
d7, e8, d6.
Maybe she can take on c4 and then bishop e6, spinning the knight on c4.
But your queen is hanging on a5.
Oh, exactly. So d takes c4, knight takes c4. Now the queen is hanging, so
Queen d5, possibly.
Centralizing the queen.
Knight c4, knight c4. This d6 square, it
Yeah.
seems that it's created for the knight.
Right.
She really doesn't like this bishop and c4 standing.
But I like this plan now, because now you can develop the bishop to e6 within another tempo, since the b7 pawn is protected.
That's true. What do you think about taking on d6 and playing e4? Just changing the structure completely.
Right. I mean, for me, it's very tough to give up the bishop perfect.
It shouldn't be too good, that I agree. Queen c2. But now white can go bishop e5 maybe, or knight g5. Of course, black wants to go c5.
c5
So this has to be stopped.
Right. Annoying the
E4.
queen.
What about e4?
e4 in order to go d5, right? After c5.
After c5, but rook c1 stops c5 right now.
This is also natural. Now you can, I mean, you have a lot of space, right? The e4 possibility, a3, b4.
Well, if white can really stop playing black playing c5, then he can be better. It can be very unpleasant for the e6 bishop if knight g5 and d4.
That's right. So now it's a tough moment for Salvador. Rook d8. a3. Very natural move.
Eventually that queen will be chased away, but maybe the queen will go to h5.
h5 looks risky, but it's not easy to attack that queen on h5.
But
maybe some
after
bishop
all,
e2.
it's a blitz game, right?
Right.
So you can experiment in different ways.
You can create some mess with the queen on h5.
And you want to surprise your opponent as well.
Right. Because going back to c7 maybe is too passive, right?
Well, you enter into the pin, right? I think after queen c7, knight g5 would be extremely powerful.
And then if the bishop goes back to d7.
Well, at some point even d5 might be in there.
Right.
But there are different alternatives. Bishop f5, bishop f5, queen
Why
f5.
not? Okay.
Why not e4?
e4, right? I mean, he's having space advantage, so it looks natural not to change trade pieces, right?
Very strange decision by Leon.
Now I think black is okay.
Well,
So
suddenly black is breathing. Queen b5?
Queen b5 looks
Queen
natural.
b5,
Now
the chicken way, trying to exchange on d5.
right.
Getting symmetric position.
Trading some pieces. b6.
b6. This I don't like that much.
Now this pawn could suffer a lot, a little bit. I don't know. It's rook c2, rook
But
a
probably
c1.
black wants to go c5 in the next move. Though
No.
now everything is hanging.
a7 and c6 is hanging. Maybe queen d7 only move
Knight
here to
e5,
protect both.
But then
Knight
knight
e5.
e5.
Queen b7 and then c6 hangs, yeah.
Yeah, if you have to give up your bishop from g7, then
Is it that bad? I mean, after bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5?
well, we have an artwork already on the chessboard.
Yeah, I'm a good painter, Judith.
Yeah, I know, you're an artist. Queen d7. Well, it's not very many options for black, though queen b5 is possible.
Queen b5 and after queen a7.
That you don't want to try with white.
Right. So the queen is going to end up
Or
trapped,
can
right?
you? Because e7
Maybe e7 is hanging, so.
Oh,
I love free pawns, Judith. I don't know, but
you're so greedy.
yeah, I am.
Oh,
But maybe knight b5.
b5.
Protecting everything makes sense as well.
I don't like the knight on b5. I'm sorry.
It's so artificial. I mean, it's not natural,
Yeah.
right? But
It's defending everything for the moment.
mm-hmm,
I'm not even sure that queen a6 is not possible.
mm-hmm.
Rook c2, doubling, very solid way. Isn't knight d4 possible?
Knight
Or bishop d4?
Oh, knight
Mhm.
d4.
Maybe
Wow,
bishop
the
d4. Bishop d4 better.
bishop d4. The bishop on f4 is hanging. Very nice.
I'm good
maybe
in tactics.
maybe black is even better, right? After bishop d4. I don't know.
Ay.
Queen d7.
e7, missing the pawn.
Rook c1. And now you're going to
But
suffer
now
a lot.
maybe, but now maybe black will suffer. Because now really the b5 knight is doing nothing, right? And
The problem
something
is-
to show up on e5.
Yeah, the problem is you can never move this knight because c6 hangs. So queen e8, very... Now d5, no, rook takes d5. I didn't see anything.
Not yet, but what about bishop e5 or knight e5?
Knight e5, basically you're forcing now to trade on e5.
Well, this is not something you're happy with, right? To give up your
Exactly.
bishop from g7.
The only way I imagine moving this knight is a5 in order to go knight a7, but looks so ugly.
Well, after a5, the problem can be queen b3 and
Mhm.
a4, and the b6 is maybe it's
Now-
already losing a pawn.
Right, so you cannot play rook b8 because the bishop protects the square. So b6 is gonna fall. In the near future, c5.
Well, giving up a pawn already.
Mm-hmm.
Now white has different options, a4 or just grabbing the pawn.
Mm-hmm. Looks okay, so there's
This
no
is what's
counterplay.
going- No check.
There's no check. And 96. Can you collect another one?
You're really hungry. Didn't have
I am.
dinner?
I had very good lunch. My mom is here, so
Rook b5?
b5. So
No,
to trade it-
d5. Rook d5. I
So you
want.
stop.
I mean, after you have taken 2 pawns, you
Mhm.
don't mind to exchange rooks, right?
Right. So you minimize the risks by trading pieces.
Rook b5.
Rook b5 makes also
It's
sense.
going your way.
Exactly. So to trade everything. I don't want any risk, Judith.
Yeah, I thought it's enough to exchange the rooks only, but
Mhm.
you want to exchange rooks and queens.
Right. I guess queen b4 now makes sense keep-
Absolutely.
to keep the same idea in mind. And I guess this is almost over. But blitz is blitz. You have to play till the end.
But okay, this game is going to be over 1-0. Do you think we
Right.
can go to our first
Sure.
match?
Sure. To our initial idea.
Well, it
here-
doesn't look very good for white, I must say.
Right. G3 is super weak here.
I thought that knight h5 will be coming, but
Mhm.
suddenly Esipenko went knight d7.
Mhm.
Esipenko is the highest rated player of the event. He's 20 years old, very talented young man.
He's now number 60 something in the wall. He lost some rating points recently, but he was above 2,700, I believe, and he even beat
But you
Magnus
know,
Carlsen.
he's over 2,700 and the under 20 world rating list, he's only
Uh-huh.
number 7.
Uh-huh.
Because
Okay.
there are guys like Gukesh and Abdusattorov and Firuza,
Right.
some others who are clearly 27 plus players.
Right.
Wow, now it's going to be very difficult for white.
Yeah,
because
these 2
of all
pawns.
also on the b file, those rooks,
Mhm.
also not bad. Maybe bishop e5 now? Or
Bishop-
that's not the case?
Bishop e5, queen c1, maybe. And then after bishop takes, rook takes, I can place
Maybe just
double rooks on the c5, right?
it
So
looks
still
bad.
surviving. How black can finish this game straight away?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe maybe you can take, but f4 doesn't work, right? G takes f4 and nothing happens.
Well, it doesn't seem that it's over yet.
Maybe just bring some action to the
Rook
e5.
e6, rook e6 and d4 probably.
Yeah. Once you place rook on e2, then d4 is
What
super
about
strong.
rook e6, rook d3, rook takes e3 and d4?
Wow, very nice. Nice fork. And rook e3 is
and
very
d4.
nice.
Or
Rook
rook
take-
e8, or rook e8 and after rook e2 d4. Maybe it's
Mhm.
easier and better.
Yeah, it's even more natural. So now the point
Mm-hmm.
is, after rook e2, d4, you cannot take on d4 because of rook e2 and black
How
finishes
can
the
you
game.
try to save the game in this position? Playing king f1 or something, but she
Exactly,
has
yeah.
only 26 seconds.
Or maybe after d4, just try to
She
move
wants
the
to
queen
take
away.
rook takes d4, I guess, giving up the exchange.
Makes sense.
or to play queen c4 and then suffer after d takes e3.
Mm-hmm.
But she chose this one.
She went for your idea, and now he just took the exchange.
Still, black has to win the game, and he has
Mhm.
a minute ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It should be enough, but it's not so easy to crack, maybe.
Maybe you can just go after the b3 pawn since the bishop is not on time to protect it.
This
So-
is what happened, but the
Mhm.
a5 pawn is also hanging in exchange.
Right, right. Queen b4. Ah,
Yeah, queen c7, she should be playing.
now maybe rook b6. So I can collect this guy without hanging the a5 pawn.
Rook e8 instead. Rook
Mhm.
e3 is threatening immediately.
Rook e3 followed by queen d2 wins the game. Now we're
And
gonna
it's
see that.
coming. And it's coming.
And it's time to resign, I believe.
Well,
Jota.
I guess so. Probably she will be. Oops, oops.
Mate. That was mate.
Yeah, it was not a good.
So maybe we can move to another game.
Absolutely. What is going on still?
Here, Vupala versus Jonas Verre from Denmark. And yeah,
Okay.
he's completely winning with the black pieces.
Well, black can blunder some things,
For
but
mate.
he should be. But hold on, how is he gonna win this? He should be giving check.
Mhm.
Okay, so king h3, let's say.
No, it's not easy. Well, you cannot activate the rook since f7 is hanging. So rook f4, rook h4. That's his idea.
Well, that's how he should be trying.
Mhm.
So how should black do this?
Yeah, once the rook is on h4, it's probably already a draw, right?
Well, somehow queen should go to g7.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah.
Queen c2.
No, you know
What's the
what
way?
he should do? He
Ah,
should
queen
be
d8.
playing queen a8. Ah, or queen d3, queen d8.
Mhm.
But he's not going queen d8. That's the only
Queen
thing he has to do.
Right. Once you kick the queen from f6, looks completely win.
But it's still, white would be go after king g2, queen d2. Next he will go king queen d8, queen d6.
Queen d6, pinning the
Pinning
rook.
the rook. So what? King g2.
Mhm. Never easy. He doesn't want to go queen d8
On
for
queen
some
d8,
reason.
I go queen.
e5. Now rook h4. What's going on? Now you have to go for the perpetual check,
Absolutely.
I believe.
Interesting that he didn't try queen d8.
Right.
Very strange decision, but of course in blitz,
Anything can happen. Yeah, you know that.
anything can happen, and you just.
Once I resigned in one game and I had mate in 3, so anything can
Wow. But you said you don't like to play blitz.
happen. That's my excuse, yeah. Yeah, and it ended in a draw. Well, nice
And he didn't
save.
draw.
Nice save from Bupala.
What happened on other? Wow, that there was a blunder between e1 up.
Here.
And no, wow, that's checkmate.
Ooh, checkmate. So Carissa won his game. Mendonca won his game.
Yeah, there was no more many moves. This
Yeah.
15, Esipenko won against Joka. This game, Vantika draw. with
Versus.
Idea. Looks like a peaceful draw. And here, was it a blunder, rook d2? What was the last, you see?
Let me see. Ah, rook d2.
See? There
I guess you
was
have
a
to go
blunder.
king c3 here, right?
Well, king c3. Yeah, king
Even-
c3 seems that it was still savable.
Now after king e2, now she blunders because of bishop b4 collecting the rook, and bye-bye.
Yeah, these are unpleasant stories, and you regret it, that's for sure. All the games finished. What has happened? Let's see the results. Wow, what
So-
a game. Well, this is convincing too, at least the final move. but this
Sat-
one,
Satwani.
this looks funny.
Wow, very nice.
Having two pass pawns on the sevens, it's not so common.
Right. So I think the next round starts in already should be starting. Yeah. So what game do you want to follow, Judit?
Let's say Asipenko now and finally see the whole game by him,
Okay,
and
from
then
the
we
very
can
beginning.
switch in next round to someone else.
Okay, so we have the Nimzo. Now there are many options: E3, Knight F3, Queen C2, A3, whatever. This classical line with A3.
Are you playing the Nimzo?
I'm trying to. I mean, I played the King's India my whole life, but I understood that once you play against a lot of strong opponents, like you need to have something more solid. So I'm trying to change my repertoire a little bit. You switch as well?
Switched, yeah. But I'm not playing anything now because I'm not playing in events.
Right.
So E4, interesting way of playing. Is he going to play F3 or D5? F3.
F3, solid. He doesn't want to commit still with the D pawn. Makes sense.
Well, that makes a lot of sense not to give away the C5 square, right?
And how do you proceed now with the black pieces? I guess sometimes you chase this guy, the C4 pawn.
But how to chase that, right? You
Yeah.
can go B6, bishop A6, knight C6, knight A5.
That's
Or even
it.
C5 at some point.
That's a usual plan. And I guess with the white pieces, you want to develop this knight to E2, maybe then to G3, short castle, some F4
Well,
ideas.
the question is, I think, if can black do something tactical?
Maybe some E takes D4 and D5 or something like that.
That's what I was thinking, but I'm not sure it was working. But after C5, I believe D5 will be on the board, and then knight will not end up on A5, attacking the C4.
Right, so that means that the C4 pawn will not suffer, and that means that white will play very easily on the king side, I believe.
Well, for white, there is a lot of play: knight E2, G4, H4, bishop E3, king F2, or castle, or keep the king on D2, right? And it's also important to say that in Blitz, it's very important how easy it is to play with your side.
Right.
Because here, I think, maybe I would say that it's easier to play with white because it just comes to your hand, right? Pushing pawns, develop bishop on E3, king D2, you have your rook on G1, knight G3. Without thinking, your hand or the mouse can be moved.
Right. You can pre-move all these all these moves, yeah. Did you see what happened in the Olympiad with Shankland? He pre-moved. You didn't see that? So
no, somebody, it was not a, what do you mean pre-moved?
Like he was expecting some queen h1 check, and then he was already right, and then his opponent went queen g2 or something, and then he pre-moved like the king to the second rank, and then he had to move the king somewhere else, and then he lost the game. So
no, he should have given a check, and I mean he should have given a check, and he had to make that was a very unfortunate situation.
Right.
Yeah. So we have h5. Black played h5.
Right. I mean, he decided to stop the attack, but now it's extremely dangerous. Some sacrifices on h5 at some point.
Queen d2, knight h7. So where is the bishop going to go? h6.
Right. And now somehow I want to push g4 at some point, but it's not going to be easy. I guess maybe knight f1, knight f2.
But there's another way of playing also, to move the king somehow to king d1, c2, or castle and f4 at some point.
F4 makes a lot of sense since there's no knight coming easily to e5.
Of course, knight d4 can be unpleasant, and maybe now already black wants to go knight g8, pushing back the bishop.
Right. Makes sense. So where would you castle here? Long side or short side?
Probably I would just not castle.
Castle. Just leave the king in the center
So look
and
at
push.
the question, where do I castle?
I mean, if you go long castle, you give black some hopes, right? after a6, b5 of contemplate.
Well, definitely black should be going something like that if white goes to castle long side. But if I would go long side, probably I would go king d1.
King d1, king c2.
But maybe also possible to go queen e3 and king d2. For example, I would like the king on d2.
Yeah, rather than on c2.
But the big question is how white will be improving his attack.
Right.
Is he going to be playing for f4, giving up g4? Is he going to get back with his bishop to g5?
f4 is always very risky, right? I mean, positionally, if after the trades on knight lands on e5.
Oh yeah, if the knight ends on e5, then it's nice for black. But white has to do it the way that black is not able to reach e5 with any.
Right. So I was thinking about having a knight on d7 ready in case you go f4, but maybe it's too passive.
I think he wants to go knight g8, pushing the bishop back. So
yeah. And then after bishop e3.
But look, white is thinking quite a lot, and he came back by himself to e3.
Right, before being kicked out.
b6.
So b6. Is this bishop going to a6?
I don't know. I don't think it would be a good spot because there's no other piece which can attack on c4.
Right.
Knight f1.
Maybe knight h2, g4, it's an idea. Knight h2, rook g1, and g4.
But do you like the knight on h2?
No.
Regroup it to e3.
Right, that makes more sense.
The only question is, why didn't he play knight f1 first? Because he didn't want to leave out the bishop on h6.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so in the meantime, black wants to have counterplay by playing b5 eventually.
I guess rook b8 is natural now, intending b5.
Can't black sacrifice a pawn?
Maybe already with b5?
Yeah, b5 takes rook a8, queen takes, he takes b5, queen
And
a1
then?
check.
Yeah, king e2.
And then the question.
Now, maybe rook a8, bringing the other. But then knight g3, maybe, attacking the queen. If black goes rook b8, maybe I can try to stop b5 by playing queen e2.
Yeah, but after you go queen e2, then probably your queen is already not ideally placed for the attack, because now it stands very nice on that diagonal, looking to the h6 square.
Yeah, I was thinking that on e2 also covers the g4 square, so after knight e3, I'm already ready to push on g4. So,
okay, I understand, but
yeah, I agree. Like, looks more nice here.
Well, if you can manage it, if you have time for it, then it can work.
Knight e3 has been played. Now, I guess black.
But I think now b5. Now b5. Now I want to go b5 because on b5, and it's there. Because takes the rook, then rook a1 check, knight, oops, castle short.
Castle short. He wants to play positionally, this position. So now after pawn takes.
Oh, that would be beautiful for white. Knight takes c4.
And then d6 is hanging. Well, not hanging, but
what he
very
played.
weak.
But white has a beautiful position here.
Right. Can I try? Well, I wanted to go bishop b5 at some point, but maybe I was blundering something.
Yeah, maybe their knight e5 was.
Right.
Now takes rook b1, threatening rook b6, attacking on d6.
Because if I manage to trade this guy for the knight on c4, maybe somehow the knights can try to defend this position. But with this guy attack all the time after rook b6, now I guess you have to go knight e8 only.
There is no other move, I believe.
Right, and queen b2, and then rook b7 is
so
coming.
Powerful.
Yes, that's a lot of pressure. It's a torture.
Rook a7 only move.
Yeah, rook a7.
Then he's going to go bishop g3, for example. Forcing f6. Knight f6.
Now rook b7 makes sense. Queen d8, I believe.
it should be standing on the board in a second. Or bishop g3 also looks quite unpleasant, threatening with knight d6.
Wow, very beautiful. And then bishop e5, and then all pieces are hanging over there. I played against Aditya in the World Rapid Championship. He was 1499. That was his rating.
Wow. When?
In December in Warsaw, the World Rapid Championship. I mean, his rapid rating was all. So this is the problem, you know, why like all guys like me are losing rating all the time.
He wants to go f4, or what does he want? But then
f4, knight g4, I guess.
Well, it's not easy to make a move, by the way, with black.
Rook a7, stopping rook b7.
Very sensible move, I must say.
And now, can you already push f4 or not? So after knight g4, what happens there?
You know, you think twice playing f4 when you have your other pawn on h4, right?
Right.
Even if it's good, somehow it doesn't feel right. So it's actually no surprise that he went bishop g5 first.
And now he can try f4 in the next move.
The problem is that black is in Zugzwang.
Yes.
I mean, look at this. If the rook moves, then I can go to b7. If the bishop on d7 moves to c8, then rook c6 is possible. If you go here, bishop e7, and you're
right.
The d6 pawn is gone.
Bishop e7, very, very nice move. Well, can I have some resource, like
Bishop
crazy
b5?
resource? Bishop b5, yeah. Nice.
And it's
nice
there.
defense, yeah.
Bishop
Now knight
6.
Knight d6, and
Was
are
it
you
a
not?
blunder?
I think it's a blunder, yeah. You're
Rook d6,
well,
bishop c4.
and knight d6, you just collect the rook. Maybe he saw like something like, I don't know what he saw here. But it looks very nice for black now.
And white suddenly started to think. Well, in blitz, you can never know. You can blunder easily. Wow, bishop b5 was a nice saving move.
Yes. Nice trap from Aditya.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I don't see a way to play with the white pieces, Judit. Maybe rook d6, bishop c4, rook c6.
Rook d6, bishop c4, rook c6, bishop d3.
Bishop d3, rook c7, and in that position, can I try to survive with b6
or queen b6?
Queen b6, and then somehow, yeah, they're going for this line.
Well, probably he thought that this is still the best way to do it.
And queen h4, he grabs this guy.
He went this way?
Wow. Now rook a1. Bishop f1 still survives.
But why did black go this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that position with the queen on b6 against the three pieces was not that easy, right? With the d pawn running.
Yeah, that's true. Why didn't he play rook a1 first? He thinks that he can do it anytime. Queen c1.
Queen c1, and he's going to collect this guy on c3.
He's not going to collect that because...
no, after bishop f1. Right, you're right.
Rook a3.
Rook a3.
I would come knight g5 somehow, you know? The knights are always dangerous.
And knight f6 stopping the d pawn.
We see seconds for the players, 15 seconds each.
Yeah. Now it's gonna get crazy. Rook e5, collecting everything.
Okay, rook c3.
So, queen c3.
Queen c3.
Queen c3 makes sense. Now the rook is attacked. Rook e7. e5, d7 are in the air.
White is a pawn up.
Queen a1. And now what happens after d7?
Rook d3.
Rook d3. What nice. e5 first. And now d7. That's a nice way to finish the game, yeah.
With 9 seconds.
And rook
e8.
5
seconds.
And I guess this is game over.
Still
Thanks,
fighting,
and-
but not for long, I guess. Queen d4, e6.
Bye-bye.
Stepanko has his self-confidence. E6,
Uh-huh.
bishop c4.
Yeah, there's no
Okay,
queen.
well, the centralized queen is powerful
Mhm.
again. Okay, so Stepanko is 2 out of 2. Let's see what's going on other boards.
Well, so
What was that queen g7? What was that? Well, that's
Here?
that's a nice mate.
wow. It takes rook
Oh, one
f7.
thing, yeah,
I know the bishop is on b2.
surprises happen, right? What's going on? Any other game is still on?
Yes, we have Joka versus Verde.
Okay, so she's in danger on with the a pawn there.
Yeah,
A6, A7, A8 somehow. So
I
she
think
has
that-
to look for sacrificing the knight, but it's not so easily possible.
I mean rook b8 is coming, right? So are you not losing
Has to
immediately?
give a check. Check
then you-
again. So
You
how
go this
can-
way, no? Maybe no. After king h7, rook b8 still.
But then knight d7. King h7,
Oh,
rook b8,
beautiful.
knight d7.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful,
But okay,
beautiful.
rook, bishop e3.
You go back, and then rook a7 and knight b8, and then try
Okay.
to defend this endgame. Right, it's the only.
Okay, so this is what she does.
Well, I mean, king g6, h5, and how are you gonna lose this?
It's a b pawn also, by the way.
Right.
So this should be probably a great chance to make a draw.
King d2, h5 or f5.
Yeah. Of
And I-
course, white is not going to take with the pawn because of h5.
Maybe king h4 or king f4.
I
yes.
thought king h4, yeah.
Ooh. And now h4, king
Game
f5.
over.
Yeah,
Game
game over. Now you're gonna collect this guy.
Yeah, now black will not save the game.
Or just move the bishop.
It was a pity because she had a pretty reasonable, very normal middle game. And but now she will have to face some Zugzwang situations, king f7. No stalemate.
Right. And now I think it's time to resign. D6, E7, and bye-bye.
And game over.
So what else do we have? Some more games going on? No. So it's time to check the
Well, let's
results.
see what happens. Do we have any draw? Yeah, there was one draw between Salimova against Sadvani.
So
Yeah.
Carissa Jib won. This draw that you just
Carissa, she has
mentioned.
2 out of 2, it seems.
Right. Yep.
Also,
And then Zvane won. Is he a brother of Rasmus Vane or Rasmus Vane is another strong grandmaster from Germany. He's above 2600. I'm not
I'm
sure.
not sure.
So he won, and Bantika Agrabal once against Malika. This game we just saw. This game we just saw as well, and Asawajeva lost against.
Mendonca also has 2 wins, right?
Yes, he has 2 wins. I have to say that his father is an extremely powerful tennis table player. He's
Whose?
super strong. Yeah.
Whose father?
Leon Mendonca's father.
Really?
Actually, we were in a tournament in Sitges, Sangui Sitges Festival
Yes.
near Barcelona, and they always organize a tennis table tournament, and he beat me very easily in the semifinals. He won the tournament. He's
I
super
didn't know
strong.
he plays good table tennis, but they lived in Budapest for quite some
really?
time.
Okay.
During the COVID, they stuck here. And actually, he's cooking very well, you know?
Oh, really? Okay. Indian
So,
food.
Leon is very fortunate that his father is cooking so well. And he's not shortage of good food.
Do you like Indian food?
I love Indian food. I also cook Indian food sometimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very impressive for me. Like the quality of the food in the Olympiad. That was very nice. Even though it's a little bit spicy for Spanish, but very nice.
I like spicy food.
Oh,
So
really?
what do you
Okay.
think about picking the game between Mendonca and Carissa?
Yeah, sounds very nice because they
2 out
both
of
have
2 both.
right. So we have Zvane, Zipenko, Mendonca, and Carissa with 2 out of 2 as leaders of the tournament right now, and it's already started.
So let's see, D4, Knight C3.
Then D5 is the most natural move, stopping E4 and Bishop F4.
There are such a strange openings nowadays.
Right.
Again, this one. Leon
He's
was playing this. Is it something normal nowadays to play? D6, Knight A3. I mean, when I was a kid, it was a basic teaching that you don't put your knights on the rim, right? And
Right.
you develop to C3 and go all the way. But now he went back to C3.
Now he changed. Yeah, he went back to C3.
But this is even more strange. But really.
I think the point is like they want to bring this knight to A6.
But why didn't he went to Knight C7 after Knight C3?
Right, that was more natural after instead of Rook E8, right?
Yes.
Because now, well, if Black manages to strike with C5, then but it's not gonna be easy, right? Knight A4.
Well, it's kind of a blitz preparation. Don't you have this feeling?
I agree.
Take everything on E5, play Queen D4. Well, not
Yeah.
Queen D4 because Rook E4.
Mm-hmm.
But still, take everything and Knight C5.
Mm-hmm. And then you have this beautiful knight against this poor bishop on C8.
The only question that if on something on H3 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Queen A5.
Some sacrifices. Or Queen A5. I guess B3 is natural now.
Queen A5.
Mm-hmm. And now you can go for your idea after trading everything, Queen D4, and after Rook E4, I was about to blunder after Queen C5, Rook A4.
Okay.
That was my plan.
But you know, I was thinking also about Queen D4 instead of B3.
Uh-huh. Ah,
Because
protecting simply the pawn, yeah?
If you don't take on E5, I would also think to defend it.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're also greedy, yeah?
Not too much, but if it's there and it's given for free, I would consider it.
Why not to take it? Maybe Queen D4 anyway, after Rook E4, Queen F6.
Queen F6. Rook C1 with the idea of C4.
Mm-hmm. And the structure is terrible. As you say, maybe some hopes of creating counterplay on the king side.
That's always there. That's always there.
But the queen is very far away from the action.
Can black go C5 or after C4 immediate problems for black?
Mm-hmm. No, she went for Rook G5. Basic threats.
G4.
G4.
Not G4. No. F4. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. No. Though, nah. G4.
Maybe it's still playable, yeah? It looks very strange.
I'm
but...
a big fan of G4, but here I would get a heart attack from my own. Now I would go F4 with the idea of Rook G3, Queen E1.
Queen E1 trading just the queens, and then the rook is trapped actually after King H2. Yeah, very nice.
Queen F3.
Queen F3, protecting H3.
Classical way of handling it.
Right. I mean, I'm so worried about this rook in G5.
Well, you can be because now Queen F4, I guess.
Queen F4, yeah, I guess you have to protect it by playing H6 or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still not losing immediately.
But still, White has to go Queen F4, otherwise Bishop E4, right?
Mm-hmm. Bishop E4 is a threat, winning the game, H6. And maybe
H2.
now Bishop H3 is a threat, so.
King H2.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Or playing G4.
G4.
It looks awfully dangerous. Rook E8 and Rook E4 after that.
Yeah, and suddenly...
It's kind of a computer thing. Play G4, Rook E8, F3.
But maybe it's still the same idea, even if you don't play G4 after King H2, Rook E8, in order to go Rook E4.
Oh, absolutely. In Blitz, I would love it with black.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I don't like, well, there are many things I don't like about black's position, but mainly this queen on A5.
Don't
completely
worry, it will
misplaced.
come to d2 one day when it's very unpleasant.
Right, after some f4 and then mate.
Or goes back to d8. But now, for now, she wants to go rook e8, I guess.
Yes. So can we do something with white to stop that idea in her?
Well, it's either g4 or king h2 or king h1.
King h1.
Rook e8.
Rook e8, and suddenly I'm starting to panic in this position with white.
I wouldn't like to play it with white. Seeing rook e8, rook e4, rook h4 possibly. Of course, it's right there.
So strange, these rooks on the g and the h5, but then extremely dangerous suddenly.
Yeah, and your knight on a4 is completely out of the game. You cannot bring it back to c3 nor to c5.
Right.
So it's very tricky for white, I think.
That's right. Can I go f3 just to stop rook e4? I mean, I don't want to go
a lot
f3.
of sense. Shows that you're afraid.
Yeah, I'm very afraid.
Queen d2. Queen d2.
Queen d2, right. You said that at some point you were gonna...
told you, I warned you, so I'm not giving any surprise.
Rook d1, ignoring the threat, and now rook e4. Very brave. Maybe that's a nice... Maybe nice rook d4, nice defensive resource.
But check and rook d4. Okay. Okay. Understand.
King g7. Yeah, I cannot go rook d4 straight away, right? Because you take and then queen d2.
No, but after rook d4, you go queen e5 check and queen d4.
Ah, I see. Then
he can be very happy with knight c5.
Right. One rook less on the board. I mean, white should be happy, so less attack. c3.
What a nerve system.
c3, rook h4.
Because he thought that he cannot go rook d4. That's why he played c3, but you have no time for something.
Yeah, he didn't see this queen e5 intermediate check, probably. As you mentioned, after rook takes e4.
I mean, what kind of nerves you have to play c3?
Right.
All these rooks are coming on the king's side.
So maybe now rook d4, right?
Bishop e4?
Oh, I didn't see that. That hurts.
Well, I'm not joking there.
Yeah, no way. So then queen h2, but you can even sacrifice at some point on h3 and then that rook's on h5, king g2. What happens there?
Well,
king h2. Can I take on h3? I believe you can't, because...
Well, right now the queen on a5 is really out.
Right.
So but why not bishop e4?
Bishop e4, attacking g2. G3 or even f3?
No, by g3, probably it's lost because of rook h4, rook h3. Takes rook h5, king g4, f5.
King f4.
G5,
king e5.
Well, d4.
King d6. The king runs away. But can I go f3 after bishop e4? Maybe?
Probably that's what you have to do. But after f3, maybe bishop f3 and rook h5.
Queen g3. I just wanted to go back.
Yeah, queen d8, rook d4. Yeah.
Rook d4. Yeah.
So what about d4?
c5. c5 was played. d4 was very nice.
D4, against rook d4. But now I don't understand. What if check on e5 and take on d5?
Yeah, and suddenly...
e5 was unexpected.
But queen e5, king h7, you want to take with...
I can take queen takes d5, f7 is hanging.
Right, so I don't have bishop h3 because of queen f7. So only 1 minute. f4.
Also not bad.
And now I guess rook h5, and he's ready to sacrifice everything on h3. So the question... Rook takes e5. Yeah, that's very nice, because after bishop h3, you just trade one rook.
I guess game over with the queen on
Yes.
a5. A
Mhm.
great example. What happens if you don't watch out after you put your queen on a5?
Mm-hmm. And now, once the rooks have one pair of
Wasn't rook
rooks are
d8 possible instead of taking on h5?
rook d8 in order to go rook g8. Yeah.
Well, I guess this is also should be winning for white, rook d1 or something.
Point is, the queen is always trapped here.
Well, she will go queen b5, I guess, trying to save herself.
Mm-hmm.
But there is not much of a choice for her, right?
Right. Rook d1, queen b5, and can you go rook d8? So I don't want to trade on b5 and then fix the structure.
Yeah.
c4.
And rook d8. I still keep saying rook d8 because I want to go there. It's just so close to give a checkmate after that.
Right. So only 27 seconds for Mendonca. Rook d8 on the board, and now the threat is very simple. Rook g8.
And he'll go. What?
And after
Is
king
this
f6.
possible?
I mean, there's still no mate. At least I don't see it, because d8 and e5 are covered. So
Okay, so rook g8.
king
Well,
f6.
ab3. Okay, there is no rush.
So then, I mean,
White can go e4 at some point and e5.
right. Covering the escape route for the king.
And the problem is for black, if the queen on a5 moves away, then rook g8 and queen d8 is possible.
Right, so maybe can I try rook b5 just to say something? And after rook g8, king f6, and still, well, he took on b3.
Wow. And after rook g8, what is his plan?
King f6.
Her plan? Queen
And
b3?
take this guy.
Well, then queen f8 maybe. I wanted to go queen f8 immediately. I'm sorry. If once you can give checkmate, why not? This is also not bad.
King g7, bishop e6, queen d4, and now this is over, yeah? After king e7.
What do you do on king e7? It's still not over.
Still not easy.
Okay, queen a7, knight b6 or what? Knight b6 and d8 is unprofitable.
Right. Now this is the
And he
threat.
has only 5 seconds left.
Can we make one more move to survive here with black?
Yeah, sure, to play rook h3, giving up a rook. After that, you have a check on a2. And after king g3, you can still resign.
Right.
As you get no penalty for resigning later than possible. But now she will not have a move, I believe.
Yes. Bishop d5.
5.
Well, now 2 seconds. Knight takes e5.
Well, actually, it's logical that she moves on, as Leon has very little time. Few seconds only on the clock.
1 second. Oof. He moved with 2 seconds.
Spirit. Okay, king g7. Oh, takes rook c5.
At least now the king is safe.
In business. Or maybe she wants to go queen d2.
So queen c5, there's no mate, right? Or there is mate. There has to be mate.
No, it's only 2 pawns up, which is quite enough. On queen c5, I guess queen goes g8, king f6, queen d8.
Wow, rook h3. Going for
It's a funny move, but after king h3, there is nothing, right? King h2.
King h2. Now queen e3.
This was not worth it. It was not a good deal for black.
Well, Well, still.
But he has to go queen f8 and queen h6. Or queen d6 and move the rook.
Right. Queen h6 stops all the checks, and you can resign now.
That will be the case, I believe. Yeah.
Well, that's the
we
end.
have some other fun games also in this round.
There's still one game going on, so
Let's
move there if you.
This is also quite funny with all these knights around. So actually, White is playing for a win.
Yes.
Savita against Salimova.
Rook c4, knight e3, and rook c8 finishes the game.
It's not only playing for a win, but
it's
winning.
completely winning, yeah.
I thought for a second that there is only one rook for White also and 3 pawns for the knight. But yeah, there is an extra rook.
Okay, so this is the end of the round. Let's just check the results. So Mendonca won.
There was a
Yes.
nice tactics, on this game on Aditya.
Okay, let me go and check.
Yeah. No, one up.
One up here.
Yes, and if you go back few moves, I just saw, here. Look at this, bishop c6, knight f6.
Wow.
Takes and bishop h7.
And rook f7 is coming.
Yeah, because if on king g7, bishop, queen g6 check and rook f7.
Wow. Beautiful. Queen g7
Like
mate.
that, yeah. And then I think after bishop h7, there was it went on somehow the way takes.
And then he collects every pawn there.
Oh, and queen c5 double attack.
Wow.
Very nice.
Extremely beautiful. Very clean.
Very clean tactics. Okay. So I just wanted to show this because I saw this and I liked it. In Blitz game also, there are some good eye for tactics of some of these talented little guys and ladies. So we have all finished. What is the standings now?
Well, let me check. So we have Leon, Mendonca, and Esipenko with 3 out of 3. And then we have with 2.5 out of 3, Svane, Bupala. We have the Maurizi and Carissa Jeep with 2 out of 3. And yes, these are the top leaders of the tournament so far. So 3 rounds, 4 more rounds to go, Judit. So it should be starting in a minute once again.
Yeah, it's already round 4. Which game to pick? Let's pick who is gonna play there. What are the matches?
So we have Salimova versus Carissa Jeep, Svane versus Savita, Sadwani versus Bantika Agrabal, Maurizi versus Esipenko, Malika versus.
Esipenko won, right? He won.
Right.
Oh.
He's got 3 out of 3. And how about if we follow Bantika versus Sadwani? Sadwani is one of the top seeds as well in this tournament. Super strong. I mean, it's very scary how these Indian kids are improving, right? I mean, you saw Gukesh performance in the last months. Crazy, right?
Unbelievable. It was incredible to see and follow his performance in the Olympiad. It was so amazing to see him 1 game, 2nd game, 3rd he wins, 4th, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Yeah. And then in the 9th round, you had a completely winning position against the Uzbek Abdusattorov. And he went nuts.
Right.
And then he collapsed a little bit, but it was probably he also felt it that, okay, I mean, he won already so many games. He has a winning position, and he had an incredible winning situation already in the middle game. But
and that may have changed the course of the Olympiad, because that was a very important and key moment of the match. I think they ended up losing or drawing this match versus Uzbekistan.
I think they lost it.
They lost it, right? Yeah. And then the Uzbeks, they ended up winning the Olympiad.
They
very
lost
impressive.
it,
because they had 3 draws or something, and this game made decide the match. And actually, true, if poor Gukesh would win, maybe
Right.
instead of the Uzbek boys, it would be the Indian
Right.
team.
For sure,
team
it
two.
hurt a lot for him. Yeah.
Yeah, but it happens when you're so young. We have the game started.
Yes.
Dutch.
We have the Dutch defense. Yeah.
Yeah, I played it several times myself at some point, but it was somehow dangerous for me. It didn't work out the way I wanted.
What is this B3 unit? A 95.
95. What is it? C6? No, 94.
94.
7. I was knew the classical way when white plays C4, knight C3, D5, all these classical things. But now everybody is playing all kind of strange things.
Exactly. You know, when you face a Dutch defense, you sort of want to win immediately. So you try a lot of rubbish to.
You really want to win the game with white immediately?
Exactly. So you try. I mean, F5. So why not to go E4, some gambits, knight C3, bishop G5, but actually the main line with the fianchetto is super strong as well. I think Sang Shankland recommends it in his lifetime repertoire course in Chessable. So I was actually learning like the way to play with the fianchetto. I mean, I didn't check this line my whole life because you never think like you're gonna face the Dutch so many times. So you do, and then you know nothing. So at least in my case.
Oh well, but now it seems like black is completely fine.
Double fianchetto.
Black is ready to play knight F6 to strengthen the knight on E4.
So can I want to make some weird move here, but I mean, I'm afraid to say. I wanted to play knight B1, not to go F3, but very strange.
Yeah, that's interesting that sometimes white goes knight B1, not to allow the exchange, right?
Right. So now is he thinking to take on B7 maybe?
I think that doesn't work because takes on F1, bishop A8, knight G3.
And then the knight escapes.
Yeah, so probably white has to be taking on D2 back, bishop exchange, and then knight F6.
Knight F6. F3 in that position, I believe. And then I want to go rook E1 and E4 somehow.
Yeah, white has some space advantage, right? Oops.
D5.
Okay.
D5.
Well, it's very typical, right, to create the weakness on E6 for black.
What happened here? Just 1 second. D5, knight E4, bishop takes, and E5 now. And I guess you can always trade this knight by playing knight C5 in the next move, or knight G5.
Yeah, somehow you want to eliminate that knight, that's for sure.
That's very unpleasant. You don't want to have this knight on E6 disturbing.
Actually, black is doing fine, it seems.
Right? So
knight on E6 is only temporary.
Exactly. Once the knights are off, then you can even try to push on the king side. Well, white stops that by playing F4 immediately.
But this can be a little risky, don't you think so?
Right. Now the E2 pawn, the E file gets opened. For example, after G takes F4, knight C5, and then the E2 pawn is going to suffer in the long term, I believe.
I don't think white wants to take G takes F4.
Right.
In H4 maybe already. I'm not even sure knight C5 I want to go.
Right. So rook F4.
Knight C5.
Knight C5. And then the E2 pawn. Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
G5. It's a question which direction to move.
I don't know. I wanted to go knight C5 because if you take, then I take with the B pawn, and then I have already the queen on the E file. On G5, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't like it that much because then I feel that I have to go back to E7. On G5, I mean, I feel like the queen on G5, I have to retreat it to E7 at some point. C6.
C6. Well, probably black is also happy to have a knight on E4. It's beautiful there. Nobody will kick it out.
Right.
And actually, he can go to exchange from c5 or g5 anytime, though.
Right.
It's not always anytime.
So
Go
maybe
look f1.
rook f1.
Yeah, a to f1.
You want to try some g4 or something?
Well, also kind of being prepared for knight c5, then I can take and e4.
Right. I like
I
that.
want to have a pin on the f5.
So maybe after rook f1, you can take on d5 and then try to create pressure against this pawn. Maybe some queen b7 or rook c8 using the c file as well.
Possibly, but still, I think that's what I would wanted to get ready for.
Right, right.
Because now if black is going to be exchanging, and if the pawn on e2 stands back, black should be better.
Right.
Let's say here, if knight c5, I would like to take with the b pawn. And then on the e5, the e2 pawn is always going to stay back. Okay, now white wants to keep the knight on e6.
Queen b7 now. d5 suffering already a little bit. Rook d1 protecting.
Okay.
Seems natural.
On rook e7.
Rook e7.
Probably king has to go back to g1 or something, or maybe h3.
Right. So if I take on c5 and then on e7, that's gonna be. I mean,
I
white is
don't
gonna
like
suffer.
that for white.
Right, right.
The e2 pawn is staying back.
Rook e7. Important to mention that rook e8 is not working because of knight c5, and then you're actually blundering.
Esipenko already, in the meantime, collected his full point again. Seems like there is. He's in very good form. Very convincing form.
So now, are you forced to take on c5? Otherwise, I'm taking on e6.
Not necessarily. What about queen f6?
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, queen on f6 is a little bit annoying.
Absolutely.
Queen d7, increasing the pressure once again on e6.
There is a funny move, knight f8.
Right.
Probably it's not good for anything, but it's a funny move. Though maybe it's enough for a draw.
Right, you have to go back with the queen.
I was thinking if can white go, and he's doing it, of course.
Yeah. She did it.
She did it.
Beautiful. Of course.
Couldn't resist. What
Queen
about
d8.
knight? Can knight g6 be a move? Not really, because rook e3, queen h8, king f7, right?
And after king h7, king f6.
Knight f4.
Knight f4 there. Wow.
No,
she went back.
goes back.
And maybe, can I try queen c8 now? Instead of queen d7? So,
Yeah, that will be the move, I believe.
but then maybe I can go rook c1. Pinning the knight, threatening b4. Interesting.
Queen c8 is on the board. Of course, black does not want to have a draw. No repetition.
And
But
rook c1.
Rook c1.
b4 is a threat, so should do something about this. After queen d7, I guess the same move, knight f8. But then maybe queen b7, right? Over there, can I do that, Judit, or am I blundering something? After knight f8, queen b7?
But maybe there, yeah, still doesn't work, right? Knight g6, because
The
the
knight
king
g6.
has defended on b7. Well, if now white does not have any of these tricks, then she can fall apart very easily.
Right.
Because if white has to go to play knight c5, that is not going to be anything like fun.
Right.
Many
This
weaknesses.
This is the position that white has been trying to avoid the whole game. But now, if there's no knight f8, then maybe you have to go for that, and then you have only 15 seconds in the clock.
Yeah, that's not enough.
It's not
Well,
enough.
maybe she has to go knight c5, exchanging on e7, and try to defend all the pawns.
Right.
But
Rook c4.
rook c4.
Well,
So
I
that's
guess
the idea.
I guess you can take now on e6 everything. Takes. I was thinking about rook c7 there,
Well,
but then I guess you can take, and after queen
just
e6,
4
king e7.
seconds. Queen c3, nice battery on the c file. And the
Wow.
rook is on c4, so that can be powerful. That's a nice try. Very
Very
nice.
nice defensive resource, and now rook c7 is a big threat.
Nice move.
So what
Nice
to do?
idea.
Not easy to find a move for black either. Because after rook e7, you have rook c8.
And queen h8.
Right. King f7, queen h8. Crazy. Can I try
Very
to go?
nice.
No, I wanted to go queen f7, but then you start checking.
Well, then I guess rook c8, rook c7, and it's a
Yeah, it's a
repetition.
draw. Yeah. So queen b5.
Queen b5. So what's the idea? After rook c7, queen e5 he wants to go.
e8, 7. Now
Queen e5.
I guess you can take now. It should be a draw.
Yeah. Takes on a7,
Takes.
rook e2.
And now rook a6. Or rook
d7.
d7.
She's good.
Yeah. And only with 5 seconds in the clock. Very impressive.
Now she has 8.
a4.
a4.
Right.
Rook b2 takes, but okay, this is a draw. Takes, rook d7.
You cut the king.
She's doing it. She does what she has to. Rook b4, rook b7. Takes, 3 against 2.
Yeah. And then you play that for a little while. But
7 seconds on the clock, and she makes all these good moves. Nice to see her playing. Actually, she played very well in crucial positions. And Vantika is number 6 in the under 20 world ranking.
She is from
2002.
Right.
She's actually 20 years old, right? Or
Mhm.
going to turn 20.
Right.
H6.
Yeah.
Well, of course, black is trying to confuse her.
Mm-hmm.
But it will
One
be
sec-
not easy seeing the technique she was doing. Oops, she ran out
Yeah.
of time.
Maybe. Let's see. Maybe it's an internet problem or something like that, or we just have a delay in the moves.
Well, hopefully this is not the way white is going to be losing.
There was a funny thing, like we had something called Bante Blitz Cup in Chess 24. I don't know if you remember. Like it was just a tournament where the players had to talk while they.
Yes, I
And
know
it-
Bante Blitz.
Yeah, and then we organized a super strong tournament with Carlsen and with Firuja like 3-4
Uh-huh.
years ago. That was very nice. And then there was the semifinals where Narayanan was facing Iturrizaga, and Narayanan suffered a power cut in his home, and somehow he managed to win that game. And then the whole city was very involved, and then they asked the mayor of the city to have a new generator in his home for the finals.
Oh, didn't
And-
she? Oh,
What
isn't
happened
this
here?
losing?
What happened here? Takes. And G4.
But isn't rook e4 and it's gone? And the king
Rook
is
E4. Rook E4, rook B5.
king c7.
King C7, and that's it, right? Yeah.
Maybe not exactly, but I think it should be king c7, rook b1, king c6 comes up to the 5th rank and pushes the pawn.
Right. So what was the move here, Judith? Like, well, there's no move to save the game already. Here, that's the critical test. Maybe just to go after the G pawn?
The G pawn.
But then G4.
Then G4.
Not easy. I don't understand anything. Well, let's see how the game goes. And this is gone already. Yeah, B3 is coming.
I'm not sure that she had to exchange the H pawns. No, but this is completely over.
Right.
King b3, and simply the white king is completely cut. It's going to be an easy win. What a pity for white. She made some very nice ideas there.
And then in the 3 versus 2, well, she should have exchanged the A pawn for the B pawn, right? Just rook A7 and A5, and then
why didn't she do that?
You forget about the B pawn, and should be an easy draw. But I'm very curious to see what's the move here. Maybe also in the audience, you guys, I have the chat here open as well. If you suggest some moves, I'm happy to read them and interact with you guys. We are so happy. So this is the critical point where I can see in the bar that it says like it's around equal, but maybe just king F2 and then, yeah, maybe king F2, right? Or
and
so
after king C8 already,
rook F7.
F7. But I think before should be much easier.
Yeah, right. So let's say king F2, king C8, rook F7, rook A4, rook F5, and now the king is not cut, right? So you can play king E3 or something like that, or king E2, but then rook A3, never easy.
King E3 you should be doing.
King E3, right, and after rook A3, king F4.
F4.
Right, so this is the point.
But it's still not over. Black can go king B7.
Sorry, you mean in that position, right? A second. King B7 here. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe rook G5 and then try to bring the king. So you make sure that
but why should it be a draw? If black can go king A6, B5, king A5, and then the rook keeps this 4th rank, defends the G4.
But if I bring the king to B3, let's say, and then
black
put the rook on G5.
Yeah, rook E4, king A5, B5, king A5, rook E3.
Yes, never easy, these rook endgames.
No.
Okay, so I think all games are finished now. We can check the results. So Carissa won against Salimova. So 3 out of 4. Frederick Svane lost versus Savita. Sadwani won versus Bantika. Esipenko won again, as you said, 4 out of 4 versus Maurizi. Berre won versus Malika.
That's a nice ending.
This one?
No. Rare, yes.
Yes.
Nice ending. Okay, this is different color bishop. Leon draw.
Right.
Oh, and Joka lost again.
Joka lost, yeah. So she has zero. No, she has 1 draw, right? Yeah, 1 draw and 3 defeats.
So she's drawing game 3.
Right. So round number 5, I guess, is about to start in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So what game do you want to follow right now, Judith?
So what are the standings?
The standings are, yeah, Yesipenko is the leader with 4 out of 4, and then we have with 3.5 out of 4 Leon Mendonca, and then Carissa Jeep with 3 out of 4, and then Sadwani and Bupala with 2.5 out of 4.
I think I would like to see how Carissa is doing in the next.
Okay. So Carissa is facing Bupala from India.
Yeah.
In India, I think they have 75 grandmasters. What an amazing number.
And they increased that number a lot in the recent years. Like 20 years ago, they had like 20 or something like that. They're doing a great job over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite amazing to be there in India for the Olympiad, isn't it?
Right. It was a nice experience. The people are super friendly.
Yeah, they
The
so
food is
much
great.
appreciate the opportunities.
Right. You were doing commentary on the playing hall or some other place?
Behind the playing hall, we had
okay.
a commentary room. With Marin, we were doing it.
Right.
Okay, so let's see what's going on here.
Grunfeld or King's Indian? Let's see.
King's Indian for us.
Some fun.
H4.
Wow.
This nobody played against me back then when I was playing my King's Indian things.
No, I faced this move and I was completely crushed by some Argentinian IM like 15 years ago. Yeah. I mean, he didn't know what to do. He made me. H5, okay. Sounds reasonable.
So what is it with what? F3 or bishop G5?
Or even knight F3, and now you can use the G5 square.
I don't know. I mean, some moves, you know, it's so funny to see them nowadays. If 15 years ago, people would make a move like H4 here, they would say, okay, go home and study a little bit how you have to play against the King's Indian, right? And nowadays, people play H4 and G4 and A4, and then the most unexpected moments of the game.
Right.
Even if you don't play these kind of moves, you consider to be old-fashioned.
Right.
Because
Levon Aronian, he loves to play H4 in every line.
Yeah, also, yes. Because these engines are telling you to do that. And if the engine tells you to do that, why not to do it, right?
Exactly. As some user is saying, it's the alpha zero effect,
Yeah. But alpha zero effect is that you also have to sacrifice it.
Right.
Not only just playing it. You have to give up a pawn. Up to move 15, you have to give up a pawn.
One pawn,
and then let's see in 30 moves whether you have the right compensation for it.
E6. It was possible to go B5 here, like in Benko style?
I don't know. It's possible to take it, right? C takes
right,
and then bishop B5.
I've been always a fan of the Benko, but I also understood that it cannot be my main weapon some years ago.
I was playing it myself before I played King's Indian. That was my first weapon.
Okay.
And
that's the usual path, yeah? Dragon, Benko, King's Indian, and then you become more solid.
And then I went to the boring Queen's Indian, Nimzo Indian stuff.
Right.
But I think it's easier that way, you know? It's easier to play the sharp things first and then go for the slower things. Then you play the slow motion openings and then you heat it up with some fire in the King's
some party. Right. Also, for example, Rajabov, right? He used to play so many King's Indian. He was so aggressive.
Sorry? But he still plays King's
Indian. But nowadays he's much more solid, right?
Yeah. Okay. E6. Carissa is a good player.
Yeah, she goes for the Benko style.
And B5 is right there as well.
Right. It was now or never, because after short castle, no more B5 after 8 takes B5.
Yes, and in these positions, it's not so easy to get counter chances, counterplay. So you have to know what you're doing. But she's very fast. Look at that. She has already nearly a minute advantage.
Position is very shaky now. So C takes B5, it takes B5, bishop takes B5 should be the natural sequence. But now E takes D5 and then some check on the E file.
But one check is not everything, right?
Yeah, and even more with the bishop on B5.
Yeah.
Right. I'm blundering all my pieces.
It's not yours. That's why you're...
Exactly. That's why I'm doing it.
Right? Oh, now White has a huge advantage. Takes a knight D5.
Right. And then this endgame with a pawn up with a super strong knight on d5.
Yeah, this was a.
But can you take with the knight on d5? Because then the b2 pawn is hanging.
No, there should be huge advantage for white.
Right. Yeah.
If you're not winning already.
So I guess you have to take here.
I
Queen
think
d8.
I can take with both, but maybe knight d2 even nicer to come up to knight c4 later.
Right.
But king d2 is also very tempting after bishop b2, rook b1, and then knight c7, b6,
b6,
a6.
Right.
Ooh.
So that's why she went back to d8.
Yeah, but it's a sad story.
Exactly.
b6 is possible already to start with.
b6 and then a5 and yeah, I guess after b6, I mean, you cannot go a5 because of knight c7.
But knight f6, e5, queen d5 also looks very powerful.
And then after rook a7 there.
Well, if it happened that I go e5 first, e5d, queen d5, rook a7, queen c5.
Okay. Yeah,
So maybe that's not the best.
Maybe
now rook d1, for example, seems to be also not bad.
Right. So you cannot protect the pawn on d6 with rook d8 because of e5 now, and then the pawn is pinned. So bishop c4.
Well, he wants to go the very solid positional way, right? Though I don't like it. I think there was something better, more powerful than that.
Because now after bishop b7.
Okay, at least black is breathing again.
Right. And she's still 1 minute up. So
Bishop b7.
Bishop b7, then the e4 pawn is hanging, so you need to waste another tempo to protect it. Bishop g4. I think the knight on g5 is greatly placed.
I like it on g5.
Right.
And it's very important that the bishop on b5, so rook cannot go to e8.
Right. And then short castle and complete development, and the knight cannot be developed to c6. And because if the knight arrives to d4, then once again you're breathing, but it's not possible. So. Short castle, and once again this pawn on b5 will stop the knight coming to c6.
Well, the knight on g5 looks nice for white.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
So what to do? Maybe knight c6?
Rook d1?
It's rook d1. And I cannot play knight d4 once again.
No.
Bishop on d7 hanging.
Well, maybe taking on b5 and knight d7. But unfortunately, it looks very slow. Also, rook takes and rook d1, or even rook a6.
Yes, or even rook a to d1. Well, rook d8 was played.
Yeah, but now even bishop c4 is very.
She wants to play bishop e8 and suffer there.
This is not what you want to play.
Exactly.
No.
What you have to play.
No.
I guess some of these kids are playing in Dubai right now. That's why today we had this round starting at 8 p.m. Central European time.
Yes.
I think Satwani, for example, is playing there.
Yeah, it's interesting that in these online tournaments, oh my God, the bishop went back to its initial square.
Now all these pieces in the back rank, this doesn't look nice.
Oh, e5.
Oof, e5. This is over.
Yeah. One pawn down already, and the next one is on the way. What's going on there? What's going on between Raunak and Andrei Sipenko?
Let's check this game because the other one is already decided. So
what is this?
What is going on here, Judit?
Go back few moves, please, because there is a knight h5, knight bishop f1.
Boom.
Boom. What is this boom?
Queen g5 and bishop f2, I believe.
Or bishop f2 immediately.
Or bishop f2 immediately.
But I don't
Oh, sorry.
understand it.
Here, check, and there's knight f4, so you have to move the king and then bishop f2,
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
right?
Yeah, so
So-
it's oh, so that was a blunder,
Right.
or wasn't it? It should
I
be.
don't know. Maybe he saw this knight c4, but
You never know these days, but
right.
still.
And
Yeah,
now,
White is doing not bad.
right. Once the dark square bishops are out and the f2 pawn is not suffering, I think White is quite safe here. Queen g5. Well, still looks a
Okay,
little bit
knight
dangerous.
f3 regroups it to d4.
Nice square for the knight.
E5 is also possible, maybe, but then bishop g4, right? Knight d4 on the board. That's a good square for the knight.
Right. Rook d8.
Okay, rook d1, rook d1.
d1, rook d1.
No, because rook d4 is a threat.
Oh. Right.
It was a threat.
Bishop g4. And now,
Provocation.
you want to go f3 or not? Weaken the dark squares.
I'm not sure I want to. On the other hand, maybe it's not so bad and play queen f2.
Right. So
But
he
then
decided not
d2.
to weaken this diagonal and then play rook d2 and knight f4. Well, Black has some active pieces here, but White is very solid.
Yeah, I'm not sure I was very happy with rook d2. Because eventually I think White will have to push f3 or so. So what happens? f3.
f3, I wanted to
I'm scared a little bit with the e3 rook being unprotected.
exactly. I was even thinking about going knight e6 there. No, I cannot do it. Pawn takes, knight d4, c takes d4, the queen is protected, sorry.
Queen c1. I'm getting a little scared. Of course,
Yeah.
if
Tactics.
White can reach queen e1, then he's doing okay.
Can I go queen g5 here and then I don't know.
What is your trick?
There's no tricks. I just want to scare you.
Okay, so you want to scare me. Okay, I know you want to scare me, have some tactics. Not so easy though.
I know. I have to try. No, 96.
Yeah, because after queen g5, maybe rook g4, g3 was possible.
Rook g3. Yeah, I'm not doing anything there.
96.
Yeah. This pawn on a4 could be suffering some lines. I mean, if we trade a lot of pieces. This bishop on b3 at some point. So what to do now? He doubles rooks on the d file. Makes sense. Now 96 is a threat, so you have to do something.
What about knight g5?
Knight, sorry?
Knight g5.
It's White's turn, right?
Ah, it's White's turn.
It's Black's turn, sorry.
No. Yeah, it's black. Knight g5.
It's Black's turn, yeah. Knight g5, right. Sorry.
Knight g5.
Can I go f3 there?
Maybe it's a blunder, I don't know.
Well, they trade everything on d4. Takes.
That's the boring way of doing it.
Right.
But okay, Esipenko has a full score.
Exactly. So he's happy with the draw, probably.
Well, probably he tries to play some sound chess. Who's better in this position?
Good question.
f4.
f4 now. Aggressive.
Though also maybe b4 makes some sense.
c6, attacking the bishop.
Goes back to f1.
Yeah, it's most natural. Move here. Well, I think I will take white because I have the control on the d file, and it's not easy to fight for the d file, but maybe not much more than that. Maybe your plan, right? F4.
F4, eventually it may come. Though I understand also if white just plays G3.
Mm-hmm.
Goes the solid way. Doesn't want to provoke some dangers.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, what's the move for black here? So the piece is already nice placed, but you have to make a move. I don't want to touch the structure, so yes. So she just
He wants to go
waits.
B5.
He waits. B5, yeah.
But white is pushing.
But F5 is coming as well.
No,
F5 and
B6.
F6.
Yeah. Well, the G3 pawn is still there.
Right.
So maybe E5 is something that he likes to be playing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can protect the pawn with king H2 and then threaten F5.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. This is what he did, actually.
I like that. I think black can be in danger, maybe.
Right. And only 25 seconds for Esipenko.
Well, white has also not much, but 45 seconds is definitely more.
So after F5, what's his idea?
Or rook D6 first.
Rook D6 and then F5.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he wants to bring the bishop to C4. No, he goes E5.
He goes E5. B4, looking for counter chances.
Takes.
Bishop B2. Well, the question is how white can prepare to play F5.
Right. So this
D5.
Maybe bishop F3 at the end. Then rook C8 is coming as well, so you have to be careful.
And he did it. And maybe he will regret it.
Queen C5. Now can I go G4 finally? Right.
Why not? But the queen on C5 holds white back from playing F5 because queen E5 check is there.
G6, some pressure for the king.
Not easy to play with white.
And only 10 seconds and 16 for Esipenko. G3, king G7.
Easy to blunder.
Very easy to blunder here, things. Now
F5 is the plan. So now he went out from the queen E5 checks.
Right. Bishop B3.
Was the idea behind that. It's just prophylactics that F5 is not coming
exactly.
with the tempo.
Whoa! He lost some time.
Oops.
At one, he lost some time, yeah.
Oops.
Wow. Happens. Maybe some problems with the internet, I don't know, but this will happen in the end. So Esipenko, another win for him, so 5 wins in a row.
Wow. Well, this was not an easy one for sure. So the only game is going on between Joka and Mendonca. So let's see.
Let's go there.
Let's go there. What's going on?
Well, should be a draw.
Yeah, it will be difficult to win for white, but definitely she has a pawn up. But black has stable blockade with the different color bishops.
And I think you just do nothing now with black, right? The A4 pawn, you just leave it there. And how to proceed with the white pieces. Well, B6. Interesting. I guess you take and then go back.
Back with the king.
Right.
So actually, from this point of view, maybe she had to play bishop E4 first. But probably there is no chance any case. Now after king C8, bishop B6. Actually, it doesn't matter how she defends.
No, right.
Yeah. There is nothing to play for.
King king on c5 and just move the bishop along the diagonal.
Well, practically, it's extremely hard to lose.
Yes.
If black would put the bishop on f4
Mhm.
and give up the f6, even then it's a dead draw.
Right. And probably with a pawn on b5, this is still a draw, right?
I wonder what she's playing for.
You know, sometimes it's hard to accept that.
Yeah, maybe she had a good game. I don't know.
Right, right. When was your last tournament, Judith? Like classical tournament?
My last tournament was the Olympiad in Tromsø.
Ah, I see. So 2014, right?
14, yes. That's
Is there?
where we won
is-
the silver medal.
Awesome.
So I was very fortunate because I knew already that I'm going to retire
Uh-huh.
at tournament. So it
Is
was
there
very
any
nice.
chance that we can have you back somehow into competitive chess?
I'm not planning to come back.
We would love to see you back at some point.
Well, I hope life is long
Right.
and you never know.
Good, good. I think, yeah, they finished already, so
Okay, so it's a draw and they will start just in, I think, few seconds.
right,
Or
so
did
let's
they
go there.
started already?
They started already.
No, I'm not sure.
And
No, this
see,
is
round 6. So only 2 more rounds to go.
This is
and-
already. Yeah, they started, right?
Yes. What do you want to check now? This is what we
Well,
have.
Let's see by the opening. I see some
Okay.
Najdorf there. Ah,
Najdorf,
yeah, who is that?
Ah.
Carissa again.
Carissa versus Frederiksbank.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
stay here
let's
then.
see that.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, Najdorf bishop g5 should be always fun.
Yeah, the most sharpest line. 8-6.
It's interesting that Carissa is playing so sharp.
Mm-hmm. G5. I never understood these lines, Judith.
Well, the basic idea of g5 to create the square on e5,
E5.
for that knight, and then
Right.
nobody can touch that, right?
Right.
So it's a pawn sacrifice in
Mhm.
order to have that square.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems I didn't play this line actually. I never had this with knight bd7 h6 g5.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? Bishop
So, well, if bishop e3 is the most natural move. Double attack to these two pieces, and either queen e3 or bishop e3, and naturally bishop e3 is more natural. Knight f5 also,
knight
yeah.
f5. Knight e5,
But-
I guess.
Knight e5, attacking the queen. Can I go? No. Well, can I go
Six.
e6?
It's possible.
Well, if you take on d6 and then on f6, I may have some compensation thanks to the dark squares.
There, I think after knight d6, bishop takes d6 and takes everything on f6, bishop e5.
Right, and then bishop c3. Well, the queen can go back to
Queen
f3.
f3,
Yeah,
indeed.
but for sure there's some compensation there. e6. You
E6
went
is
for that,
there,
yeah.
but I think maybe it's more precise to take on f6 first.
Mhm.
Because if knight d6, bishop d6, bishop f6, then maybe rook h6.
Rook h6.
Mhm.
And the bishop is sort of trapped there.
Well, somehow not so comfy.
Right. Yeah, its position looks very, very nice for black. I mean, 2 pawns down, but these dark squares and the king's stuck in the center. Well, maybe for not so long, but I think that's it. Well, you can also go bishop e3, but then queen b4, I
Ah, look at that.
Wow.
Sacrificing the knight.
guess. Great.
Well, it's
Great.
not our knight, yeah?
Right.
So what about e takes f5? Takes a knight e5.
Right. Knight d5. Extremely difficult to play this position.
Well, in blitz especially, it's very
Exactly.
tricky. But it's possible to play, by the way, bishop h6 maybe.
Bishop h6 makes
Mhm.
sense to eliminate the dark square bishop,
Yes.
right? And the king is going to be more safer on d8, for example,
Yeah.
or even f8. But there's no double attack, for example, takes and then queen f4, stuff like that to grab to grab the d6 pawn.
That seems to be a nice move.
Mhm.
Well, of course, first it comes to mind to play knight e5.
Right.
But
Yes,
after
when-
that, you go queen e2, and the
Mhm.
f6 is threatening, right?
Exactly.
Hanging.
And after bishop e7, you can even take a knight e4, and not easy. Bishop e7 was played.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a nice square for this guy here. I wanted to bring it to c4, but and then bring the other route, but of course not
Well,
possible.
not yet. Bishop e7. Maybe white should be moving her queen away. Or, I don't know if g4 is possible.
G4 95 was annoying me a
Knight
little bit.
e5. Queen goes to e2, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
she played rook e1. Knight e5 is coming for sure.
Yes. Knight to e5, and then where is the queen going, to d1 or e2 or?
Well, the f5 pawn can be hanging.
Exactly.
So knight e5, queen f4.
I wanted to get crazy there, so no. Bishop f6, knight f3, rook e7, king f8, gf3 is not enough.
Wow.
No.
Queen f5 there.
Right.
h6.
Right.
I think it's a little too much.
But then if the f5 pawn is hanging, so queen f4, right? So that's the only way to protect
Yeah,
it.
queen f4, but now knight h5 is
Five.
also a possibility.
Queen h4, I believe. Bishop g5, queen g5, and the knight on h5 is a little bit misplaced. Also, the e4 square now is
But
available
it's
for the
not
knight.
so bad, maybe.
Mhm.
Well, okay, queen h4, queen f4 was a must.
Right.
There was no better for sure.
Knight d5.
Knight d5, eliminating, exchanging.
Simplifies in some pieces. I like that. The knight on e5 is going to be a monster.
I thought for a second to take on e5, but knight f4.
All right. So I guess you have to take on d5.
On d5.
Bishop g5.
Bishop g5 takes, queen d5.
No, he took her immediately on d5. And now can I go bishop e7 and then bishop
And
c4?
bishop c4, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And bishop c4, there's a pin on the e5, then maybe some f6, I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. Bishop c4.
I guess the queen has to put an eye on the e5 square, otherwise rook e5 is coming. So queen c5 or queen a5 should be the moves here.
Yeah, but it looks very scary for black.
Right. I don't know if I want to play f6 or not. Because then the bishop can then come to e6 if I go f6, but of course the king is also in danger. Queen g5 was played.
So where does the king go?
Maybe can I go to d7 and then try to go to c7, escape? Right.
And the knight on e5 stays, right?
Exactly. And now I'm threatening to capture the bishop, of course.
What about taking on f7?
Mm-hmm. I
Knight
guess I just
d3.
pass, yeah?
Sorry?
I guess I just pass, just play king c7 and then bishop d7, consolidate there.
Oh, then it's just winning probably.
For white?
You mean after bishop f7 you want to go king c7?
Exactly, yeah.
But I thought maybe we have to check knight d3 check first to take
I see, of course,
the
yeah.
knight.
Right,
rook.
the rook. Yeah, I was just thinking about the bishop on f7 and not the rook on e1, so. Yeah, knight d3, knight takes e1 is just a rook up, so. And then king c7, bishop d7 should be game over.
Well. Yeah, a rook is serious business.
Mm-hmm. Knight d3 on
And
the
Black
board.
did it.
Right.
Says why not?
Mm-hmm. King c6.
Well, of course, it's the problem for white that now h2 is hanging. I would go g4, but now both pawns are hanging, h2 and f5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when the rook lands
And
on
it's-
h2, then c2 is also hanging, so. Bishop e8.
King b6.
In b6, the king is going to be super safe on a7.
And he says, I'm a rook up.
Right. What do you want to do? Yeah, it's done, I think.
Okay, this game is over.
It's over. Maybe let's check another one.
Yeah.
So Baer versus Savani, for example.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
Also, I guess Sicilian. It seems to me that it's some rouser or something.
Yes, some classical
not sure.
Sicilian.
I'm not sure it was that, but
So am I
rouser, yeah. I guessed it right.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm losing the c3 knight, so I have to do something. Maybe queen h7, right?
Well, rook f3 was still an option, but
Mhm.
okay, takes. King has to go out.
C6.
Shaky business for everybody. Some rook b3 is a threat.
Right.
So white has
Rook
to be
b3 is
careful.
coming.
Something like king a2.
I mean, king a2. I cannot go rook d3, right? Because of rook b3 and then rook takes d3. Sorry for my arrows. I mean, I'm not pointing out correctly. So. No.
Rook
I didn't say
d3,
anything.
rook b3 is the problem.
No, but
And rook b3, queen e1.
sorry?
Rook d3, rook b3, cb, queen e1
Right.
would
Wow.
be checkmate.
Exactly. So king a2 was played.
So what about rook b3? Now it doesn't work because takes queen e2, king a3, queen d1, rook e6, or rook c7. No, rook e6.
Rook h8 has been played.
Can't white go rook e6?
Rook
Takes on h8, rook c2.
Queen g6, king d6, covering the e6 pawn. Maybe rook a7, yeah. I don't know.
King is in biggest danger. Black,
Yeah.
right?
Black, I mean, that king in the center
Yeah,
looks
rook
very
takes
bad to me.
a5.
And I can even take on d5 next move, right?
Yes,
Right, now rook d5 just wins the game.
definitely.
Yes, he did it on c4, and then you have a queen and 2 pawns for the 2 rooks, and then you have 3 passers. So
Queen h6. Check. Queen d5 check. Queen f3 check.
and then e4.
Yeah, very good maneuvering. A5.
Mhm. And now you start running.
Yeah. Well, of course, black wants to go to d4 and somehow push the e pawn, but it will be not so easy because rook d4 check on e3. King
Maybe
d3.
king d3. And after rook d6, you can even play rook c3. The king c3,
King
sorry.
c3, yes. Actually, maybe not even, but king c3.
King b4 should be okay here. And now some check and run.
Check and a3, a6. Ah, so
prophylaxis.
perfectionist. Well,
King e5, rook d2.
of course, black is fighting like crazy.
And then e2 is coming. So, well, once again, the same maneuver, yeah? The queen stopping e2 now.
Yeah.
Can I try something like, yeah,
and
rook
e2,
h3.
king b3, trapping the rook.
Wow. Beautiful. Well, you can e2, king b3, rook a5 still, right?
Yes, but I think white can just take, and then the 3 pass pawn is just winning.
Just a7 and b6 and
I would have played king b3 and push a7. But c5 is also not so bad.
Yeah, now same idea. Rook a4. I guess b6 just wins now. Rook a6, b7.
Nice.
2, a7, or... Well, now he wants to... Exactly! You have perpetual. Crazy!
Oh,
Wow!
What a saving from
Such a nice defense. Right,
What
beautiful.
a saving.
Crazy. Chess is so,
And it's draw. So painful, you want to say. What are the other results?
Okay, so we don't have any more games going on. So Svane won versus Carissa. Salimova beat Agrabal. Esipenko won again, so 6 out of 6.
Wow.
The clear leader. Satwani draw versus Berre. Maurici lost versus Bibisara. Garifulina won versus Malika. And Amital draw versus Mendonca. And Bupala won versus Joka. So Esipenko 6 out of 6. And in second position, we have Bupala. With actually, we have this system with 3 points for the winner. And so
One
he's
for
got
a draw.
exactly and 0 for losing. So 14 out of 18 for Bupala. Mendonca third with 12 out of 18. And then we have Svane with 10 points. And then a bunch of guys with 9 points, including Maurizi, Carissa, and Zadwani. So last round for today, starting in a few seconds.
Yeah. Let's see, what do we pick?
See the pairings.
Let's see the number 2 seeded player. I mean, who has, what's his name? Pranet Bupala.
Bupala. Okay, Bupala is facing who in this round?
Here against
Aditya.
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 Let's see that because he's already on second place. I'm curious how he's doing there.
So we have Queen's Gambit. A6.
Yeah, this is also a great fashion nowadays, right?
Yes, very, very trendy nowadays, right? This is the move that Shankar recommends in his course, I believe. Bishop G5.
Mm.
And Knight BB2, and then I think White's idea is just to go for the fianchetto, right? Castle and B5.
Wow, what a pawn march in the center, B5, C5, D5. Very energetic way of playing it.
You know, Black wants to solve the problem with this light square bishop in these positions, which is bad piece. And E4.
E4. So where to go with the knight? Knight F6, I guess.
Yeah.
Or knight goes back to E7.
E7, Knight F6.
But others probably don't look so powerful.
I guess I can just take on D4 and then play Bishop B7.
Looks pretty reasonable. But he
Okay.
wants to keep the tension,
B6
which is nice.
takes and Queen C2. Well, there are some tricks now with E5 and Knight G5.
Maybe Queen B6 was a mistake.
Right.
After
Can I
all.
go here, Knight F to D7? But then maybe even B4 here and then try
Yeah,
to
you
create
have
the
to go
Queen.
knight A4, I guess, after
Right.
that.
And then Queen C7 looks nice, ready for white.
Do you
Or
think that that is good for white, rook A7?
Oh, Rook A7, I missed that. Then maybe not so great. But I can play first B4, Knight A4, Knight B3. I want to go to the A5 square so somehow.
I understand your point.
But maybe, yeah, because Bishop B7. Okay, he went for B4, Knight A4, and now let's see what's his idea. Knight B3, yeah. Because after Bishop B7, then maybe I can go Queen C7 there.
But you know, even knight C5 can be unpleasant for black.
Right, right. So it's never easy to blockade later with the Queen on C6. There's Knight B4 coming. So. No, I thought I liked Queen C7 here.
Yeah,
But then
Queen
rook,
C7.
maybe Rook F to D8 and nothing happens there.
And rook FD1?
Rook FD1. Yes, some problems. Some small problems or big problems, I don't know.
And Queen C7 is on the board.
So Rook FD8, Rook FD1. Can I go there, Knight F6?
Well, maybe it's only move.
Yeah.
Well, this A4 knight is not only a bad one, because let's say if it opens up and one day it can jump to C3 when there are no queens, it can cause some problems for white. So white has to be extremely careful.
Right. I guess now Knight F6.
After knight F6. Okay.
I don't see a way to make progress here. Knight F6. My pawn on E4 is hanging all the time. So I wanted to go Queen B6 and then Knight C5.
But then E4 is hanging.
Right. Yes.
Knight F6 on the board.
Well, can I go Knight G5? No. Sorry. Didn't say anything.
No, you can go
Rook D1.
rook D8,
Rook D8 and
Knight
Knight G5.
But the problem is rook d1.
Yes. Same trick.
And you have to go bishop f1, which is not
Mhm.
so tempting to do.
Exactly.
Maybe you have to. Maybe you
Mhm.
have to go there. But then black is just fine, even just to take on c7 and rook d7.
Okay, right. Okay, he took on b6 and knight c5. Doesn't
And
care
knight-
about the e4 pawn.
Ah, okay, knight e4 takes, knight e5 or something,
Mhm.
and there is the pin.
And f5?
Yeah, but then you can take on e4, rook c6. So you attack
Right.
everything on the 6.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Well, I guess that should be playable though for black. So because you can play knight c4 and then e3, something like that.
Well, white has to be careful a little bit.
Yes. No, it was not easy after knight f6.
Yeah, knight f6 was an important move.
Mm-hmm. Because if you go to f8, let's say, then you can jump to c5, and then e4 is not hanging. So
Yeah.
maybe can I go to d4 with the knight, Judith? So after f5, the pawn on e6 is hanging.
Now.
So yes, but then maybe knight d4,
Rook
rook
d8.
d8. Right, rook d8
Rook
and bishop
d8 and
e4,
d5.
e5. Mm-hmm. But in that position, can I go bishop b7?
E takes d4, bishop a6. Possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, knight g5 has been played.
Knight c3.
Rook d3, rook c8. Bishop b7. Rook b8. Right, so knight c3, rook d3, rook c8, bishop b7. I can just simply go rook b8, rook c3, rook b7, and then the knight covers the c8 square.
Yeah, that's an important one. And knight c3 is on the board.
Mm-hmm. So I guess black is going to be a pawn up.
Well, black is a pawn up.
Mm-hmm.
So Pala wants to fight for the first place,
Mm-hmm.
which is not easy.
Just remember, guys, there are $10,000 in prizes for every leg. So I think the winner gets $2,000.
Yeah. It's a pretty good prize found for a 2-day Blitz tournament.
Right, not so bad.
Knight c3 back.
Yeah, bishop a6, knight a2, and then probably it's still a draw, right? It's 4 versus 3 and then 2 pieces.
But it's not funny to play with.
No.
It's, if, let's say in Blitz, if I wouldn't win, I would be unhappy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would think that my opponent, one way or another, I should be winning it. That's what I was thinking.
And then you can say, I'm going to play until tomorrow. You can stay there and we're going to play for 10 hours.
Yeah. Actually, black can also go maybe knight c4.
Mm-hmm.
No, knight c4, a5, but now a3.
A3, I guess you...
Oh.
Ooh, that was his idea. Interesting.
And then go knight b1.
Yes. I think that's even more clever to keep these b pawns, and then you can hope for taking the b4 pawn at some point.
Yeah.
That was smart. Maybe just knight c3 but the king comes, yeah? King f8, king e7, king d6.
Well, and what does white want? How does he want to defend the b4?
Right. I think it's very easy to collapse and lose this game pretty fast. Now he's gonna go bishop c6, I believe. but then knight d4.
Actually, after knight b4, generally 4 against 3 is a win.
But there's always time to trade those pawns, right? You can.
That's true. So he can go f5 now.
He did, and now maybe just bring the king.
I'm sure that black is going to be very disappointed if he's not winning this.
Yes. e5.
And he's right. If he's not winning, to be upset. But I think he will.
Yes.
With the extra pawn on the b file.
And for now, you play e4, and then you have a. Well, you can even take on f4 as well, and then.
That's what I'm wondering, if takes a knight e6 was possible. But what a passed pawn now.
Yes. Now bringing the king should be. But then the other king is also coming to e3, I guess.
But shouldn't it be just winning after knight c2 taking the b4?
It should be winning, right?
With
It's
the
4
passed
versus
pawn?
3 with the pass pawn. Knight versus bishop.
I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Still some hopes because the pawns are on the light squares, and then the bishop may attack some of them, but. Knight b4. And what to take? I mean, how to take, with the bishop or the knight on b5? He took with the
both
bishop.
are losing. I think the best to take, of course. Oh yeah. Knight d5 is also possible. Knight b d5. Though I think I would like to rather take it. But it's a good choice for black.
Knight b d5 was played, and now
Okay.
king d6, I
King
believe.
d6.
You unpin yourself.
King
King
c5.
c5 cover the d4 square, so the knight cannot jump.
He'll start bringing knight b5, knight d4, improving his piece position.
Right. Bupala, he's from which year? So I'm going to check. I have it here. From 2007. Only 15 years. 2458 already.
Yes. He played h6, but no, it was there already. Knight e6, yeah, knight d4, it shouldn't be too difficult, I believe.
Right. The knight on d4 is also jumping to f3, so white has to take measures. And
But I think it's not difficult to win anymore.
right. So now knight d4, I guess, just wins.
Absolutely.
Did you walk around in Chennai? For me, I tried to cross some streets. It was very, very messy. I was very, very scared. I just stayed behind two women, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna do whatever they do. I mean, I'm not gonna make the first move trying to cross the street, otherwise I'll get killed here.
No, I did not go out.
Okay.
I went out only with cars.
Okay.
Twice during the 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But that was it.
That was an adventure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess so. The cows are there on the edge of the roads everywhere.
Right.
White has only a few seconds. But the position is the problem. Knight goes back, knight c5, knight f1.
So I
Yes,
think
knight d3 also coming, king c3.
very few moves gonna happen before white resigns, I think. Knight a4, knight c3, for example.
That's game over.
Nice technique, actually, by Opala. I like his technique. Knight f1.
Knight f1, king e1, and
Knight h2.
And then you can resign already. Very nice.
Well, white is going to play bishop e6, exactly. No, now knight f3, knight e2, knight d4.
This one's
Piece
a
is
whole
gone.
piece.
Okay, so what's going on the other boards? Did everything finish? Or
Well,
anything?
not yet. I think it's still this game going on, but not for so long.
Well, Esipenko seems like he's going to win his seventh game of today.
Right. He
And
just did it.
just finished.
Okay, so that means, well, let's check the results before we say goodbye to our users. So Carissa and Zjoka, they drew. Bupala, well, what happened?
We still have one game going, you know?
No, but this game, well, something happened. I mean, bishop e4, and no, he just blundered. This is a draw.
Oh, we
That's
thought
it, right?
it's over.
We thought it was over, no, and now king f6 and king f5 is just the draw. How did this happen?
What was this?
So let's go back a little bit. So king e3, king c5, bishop e4, and he took.
But
King
why did he
e5.
take knight d4?
When?
Here, after bishop e4.
Yes. Knight d4, right? Yes, just
Yeah.
much more easier to play. Knight d4, exactly. So he took,
But is
and
it
then
draw after this? No.
no, it's still winning, but
But
now I
he did
guess
knight d2.
maybe knight e2.
That's what he did?
No,
That's
he
what he
went for
did.
knight c6, and then king f5, and it was already a draw.
But knight d2 is also
It's
maybe
also
king f5.
maybe h5 here. Maybe h5. Yeah, that should be the move. Right? So you
But do
have
you
no
think
move.
it's the only move to win?
I have no idea. So I
What
guess
about
because
c4? f5?
king c4, f5, and f6, right? So that's why h5, and then after f5 you go knight e2, I guess, and then knight g3, and it's
And
fine,
after
right?
f6?
f6, good question.
Draw.
Good question. No. Chess is so cruel, you know.
This is incredible.
He does the perfect job during the game. He puts a lot of pressure in the end game, nice technique, and then suddenly he just wins a piece, and then it's not so easy anymore. Well, I mean, after taking on e4, of course. Maybe here after, as you say, after knight d4, this is already very easy to play.
Well, probably it's just the simplest way.
Yeah.
Don't allow the king to move out.
Right. Amazing.
But it's
Well, then-
crazy if it's a draw after knight e4.
No, it's not a draw, but somehow
Why
here
not king c4? If king c4 now?
king c4, f5, I believe.
f5 also and f6, right?
So what's the point? I mean, after h5, f5 here. Maybe knight c6 now, king e6, and knight d8.
And king e7, king d5.
King d5.
or what?
Yes, king d5.
Yeah,
Right,
but
so
that's
knight
crazy.
c6, knight
No,
d8.
but I go king f4.
Here, right? But then I guess I bring the king.
King
No,
d5 and king
King-
e5.
right. This is crazy.
No, the thing is after king d5, f6 maybe.
King d5, f6. Right. So here, maybe king d6 then. Maybe king d6. So I protect the f6 pawn if you go f6.
King G5, King E5.
King e5, right. And this is over now. Right? Or do you have more
Yeah,
tricks?
it seems like it's over. No tricks left.
Tricks.
But it's not so easy to win, you know?
Right.
But it's very annoying. It's very good for Vupala that it's the last game, because it would be very painful to play the next game.
Yeah, to continue like this move, in this mood, sorry, after not winning this position. Just very hard.
Absolutely. I think I will check this endgame because it's
very
kind
interesting.
of a study-like story.
Right.
So let's see the standing, how we are
Yes.
standing after round 7, day 1. I guess no surprise if we say that Esipenko is the big leader of the tournament.
Exactly. So we have them there, like our producer Bane is just showing them. Esipenko leader, and then we have Bupala in the second place, tied with Mendonca with 15 points out of 21, and then we have Zadwani with 12 points, and Jonas Baer 11 points, and then a bunch of people with 10 points, including Zbane, Maurizi, Agrabal, and Jikarisa. So tomorrow we'll have the last 8 rounds, right, Judith?
Yeah, we have 8 rounds tomorrow, exactly.
8 rounds, and it will be at 3 p.m. Central European time, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
Right,
so we'll see how the players recover, and those who don't play so well will hit back and try to punch back to the guys and the girls. So far as I see in the cross table, from the top 8, we have only one lady, Jikarisa. She was playing very energetically today, and with a lot of tactics, which was quite enjoyable. And Esipenko, we can say that he is just very convincingly winning all his games, even though at some point he had, in game 2, I think there were some unpleasant moments for him, but somehow he's extremely convincing.
Exactly. So tomorrow we will continue learning from Judith. It's a lot of fun, and you learn a lot actually just listening to her comments, and hopefully we'll have some fun. So it's been a pleasure, guys. And yeah, let's catch up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you, Judith.
Thanks very much, Pepe. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game.
Well, the phone is always ringing, I'm caught up on the line. Got a string around my finger, remember who am I? I'm a boss and I'm honestly off my rocker, but follow me, I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Well, I'm only ever slinging, I'm working overtime. Got a song and I'm the singer, the melody, the vibe. I'm a prodigy, logically, I'm impossibly wanted, and they'll remember my name. They'll remember my name. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Ooh, well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. Well, I'm ahead now. Well, I'm ahead now. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game.
Okay, so let's send a challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
So that I give him up a phone. He wants to be even rude.
Throughout the whole course, there were a lot of rotations. This one game I was playing against strong Czech Grandmaster, Indian International Master Bharat.
Magesh took over in his group classes. Once he reached
This kid, is super talented.
He's really good at calculating. He's really good at the openings.
I think 2700 is gettable in another 3 years.
Welcome to the new Chess24 playing experience.
The definitive solution for studying chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses.